people go to casinos, and I'm like, think about your odds. A casino is supposed to win on average 60% of the time or higher. So that the house at the casino, they're always going to make money. How do you think these casinos are so rich? They're making money off of you spending. The games are designed for you to lose a majority of the time.
Right.
So you're going to go in with a 40% chance of making money, making a return.
Already.
Stock market, it either goes up or it goes down. You already have a 50% chance right off the bat, which is higher than any casino. So even if you're just guessing, if you literally let a monkey pick the stock for you, you still have a 50% chance that you'll make money on that.
Welcome everyone to another edition of the Second Son podcast. Today we have a brand new guest. His name is Brady. Brady works in tax consulting and loves people, culture, and teaching financial literacy. Let's clap it up for Brady, man.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. And thanks for tuning in.
Appreciate you.
Thanks for having me, by the way.
Appreciate you coming on the show, bro. So what's good? How was your week? No,
this week has been great. Just like I was telling you earlier, just a lot of reflection. I love the people in my life right now. Super supportive people, and yeah, school's going well, work's going well. It's been pretty smooth, pretty exciting.
That's what's up. That's good.
Yeah,
I'm glad like everything is in your favor right now. Life is like, heading in your direction.
Yeah, it is, honestly. And even if it's not, that's okay. It's never the end. There's always going to be something. There's always going to be something coming. So
that's facts.
Yeah,
that's facts. Tell the audience, like, describe your background, who you are and like what you do. I know I briefly discovered that in the intro, but tell them a little bit more.
Yeah, so I'm just a nobody kid from Sacramento, California. I'm a financial economics student at Chico State. I'm super passionate about financial literacy. My thing is understanding the language of money and how to use that to your advantage because, and I think this sort of falls into maybe one of the questions you were going to ask me, but like I'm super passionate about it because, in life we're all given cards. We're all given a different deck of cards that we're dealt, right? You've heard of that metaphor. But I feel like the thing about a lot of Americans just looking around, nobody knows really how to play them. So we all have different cards, whether they're good, bad, mediocre, whatever. It's important to know how to play those cards. So I feel like knowing the language of money and understanding that will help you so much escape generational poverty, things like that. Like, I feel like understanding that is super important, and it's definitely not focused on enough in educational environments. I mean, it's funny, like in high school we have like an economics class, right?
Right.
I had it for a semester. I don't know how yours is, but it's just kind of funny. Even being an econ student, I'm like, why do we need to do the supply and demand graphs in high school when we should be doing a financial literacy class to show students, hey, you're about to graduate from high school, you're about to grow up, enter the big world. Here's how to fill out a tax form.
Yeah.
Here's how to make a budget for yourself. Here's how to pay your rent.
Yeah.
We need to teach them how to be adults, not just teach them useless information. I'm not saying econ is useless, but I'm just saying we could focus on
better.
We could do better. So I guess that's one of the main missions for me and the podcast that I started is I just want to have a discussion, a conversation about, that kind of information and help people out as I sort of figure it out myself. So, yeah.
That's good. Clap it up. Clap that up. That was really
Clap
good.
it up for financial literacy.
That was good. You talked about your podcast. Let's talk about it a little bit more. What's the name of your podcast and, what is it about?
Yeah, so I run a podcast called Money Magic Podcast. I started it in 2020. When the pandemic was happening. I'm pretty sure a lot of podcasts started when the pandemic was happening.
That's facts.
But I had a little free time because I was interning for like 15, 20 hours a week. So I had some spare time, and I just decided to press the record button one day and I went on a tangent about like buying food. I went on a tangent of like one of my iconic episodes is episode 1, where I literally go on like a 5-minute rant talking about avocado toast.
Really?
Yeah. So I went on this huge mad rant about avocado toast. And I was like, why is it so expensive at restaurants? Like, you people need to understand that. So my main point in the episode was like, these businesses are selling you bread, avocado spread, maybe some everything bagel seasoning, and then they say, give me $13. That'll be $13.
Yeah.
When you can literally just, dude, buy an avocado, buy some bread. It probably costs you $1 or $2 to make. So I talked a little bit about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that episode got some good reactions. It just makes you think a little bit. Like I mentioned in that episode, like my philosophy when I go to a restaurant, if I'm going out to spend money on food,
Yeah.
I want to try something that I wouldn't make at home.
Exactly.
So when I'm going out to brunch, I'm going to get Eggs Benedict. I don't make my own hollandaise sauce. I don't do all of that stuff. So I'm going to get something that I wouldn't normally get, and that makes it much more worth it, you know?
Yes. Oh, that's actually a good idea, too.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
That's
Pointers. You can check that out. I think it's episode 1. I've lost track of my episodes. But yeah, lately I've been doing a lot of interviews too. So
Okay.
exploring like other people's interests and how that's related to consumer behavior and how that's related to finance.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really about having like normal conversations about normal things and then like tying it back into why money matters and where's the money magic in that,
Yeah.
you know? So
Oh, I like that.
yeah.
There's
Yeah.
a nice ring to it. I've always told you that was a good title, too. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was kind of worried about it though for a sec because it, you know, you think money magic, and I don't know, it reminds me of like the Bitcoin gurus. It reminds me of like some ad that I'd see on Instagram, like, hey, buy into my forex trading ETF. Yeah, it's like,
oh Jesus.
I'm like, oh yeah, subscribe to my money magic.
Yeah,
Forex trader.
Everybody knows about that. Oh,
Yeah.
Jesus.
I'm not a forex trader. I'm not one of those scam guys. So, in fact, quite the opposite. I think I talked a little bit of why I'm sort of like against throwing all your money into Bitcoin and things like that.
Right.
Like so many people lost money just because they're excited and they don't know anything about money, but they hear all about this stuff. They hear about crypto. They hear about these crazy gains, you know, like that. And it's just like you gotta be careful.
You gotta do your research.
Do your due diligence and realize that like you're not gonna just, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is, you know?
Yeah.
So, you know, don't accept all these weird, crazy offers, double your money in 2 months. Like, if that stuff was real, people would already be doing it left and right.
Yeah.
Like, there's no real get rich quick thing. And the thing with investing in stocks, if you're trying to make a big play and get rich all of a sudden, that's all down to luck, which I support.
Yeah.
I actually support.
But you got to play your cards right.
Yeah, and you have to be willing to lose that money. So, you know, I actually support that because people go to casinos, and I'm like, I personally like have a problem with it. I'm like, why would you go to a casino? I mean, it's fun. Sure, yeah, go for fun. If you want to come with profit, just invest in the stock market.
Yeah.
Like, think about your odds. A casino is supposed to win on average 60% of the time or higher.
Mm.
So that the house at the casino, they're always going to make money. How do you think these casinos are so rich? They're making money off of you spending. The games are designed for you to lose a majority of the time.
Right.
So you're going to go in with a 40% chance of making money, making a return.
Already.
Stock market, what happens to a stock? It either goes up or it goes down. You already have a 50% chance right off the bat, which is higher than any casino. So even if you're just guessing, if you literally let a monkey pick the stock for you, you still have a 50% chance that you'll make money on that. And like you said, if you do your research and you do more due diligence, that's only going to increase your odds of doing better, you know,
Yeah.
and that's if you're making short-term plays. Long-term, you win. You just win. It always goes up in the long term if you're just investing in the overall market. But yeah, that's my little rant on casinos. Like,
That's good.
if I want to go gamble, I'll just throw it into Robinhood and gamble it on a stock.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I mean,
Less
that's
fun. Less fun. Not a game or anything like that, but
Yeah.
you know.
The same concept, but the stakes are higher, stakes are lower.
Yeah.
In some
Yeah.
situations. I want to ask you this next question. What projects are you working on right now, as far as anything other than like your podcast or like the work that you do in tech consulting? Anything other than that?
Yeah. So this is my final year as an economics student, as an economist. So I'm doing a huge research project right now, and it's sort of related to my tech consulting job because I started that as an internship at the beginning of 2020. So right when the world shut down, I was told to grab my gear, set up a work from home station. So, you know, work from home had all these different pros and cons about stuff, and I was interested in that and the effects on that. And I've always wondered, like, how do other people work? Like when I'm working from home, I'm always wondering, how are other people working from home? Are they as productive as I am?
Right.
Are they doing as much as me? Do I need to work harder? Am I slacking off? You know, so I wanted to answer these questions. So right now I'm doing an economics project studying worker productivity from work from home environments versus in-office environments.
Okay.
And that's it. It's already been going huge because at first my hypothesis was, okay, do work from home environments affect worker productivity positively? Yes or no? I thought it was going to be like black or white like that. What I'm starting to realize is that I'm getting like a K-shaped result. So I'm getting some factors it's positive, some factors negative, and I'm not getting a clear answer yet. So like, for example, think about the psychological aspects of being in a work from home environment. You're isolated. You're not around, other working people. You're not around, your culture, basically. You are by yourself in your home environment. Maybe you have family, too, that you have to deal with which adds a whole different stress to it. So what I've found so far is that psychological effects have negatively impacted people from work from home, but which has impacted their productivity negatively.
Really working from go ahead.
Yeah, working from home, like the stress of it would definitely demoralize the employee. But there's also another few factors like convenience, for example. So instead of spending the hour or two to get dressed, go to your office job and commute and try to get ready in the morning and throw on this huge presentation, now you just turn on your laptop from home. You just saved that hour that you spent getting ready, and now you just put that towards work. Mm-hmm. So that is actually increasing productivity. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of variables to look at. I kind of want to go into researching quantifiable data of commission-based positions.
Okay.
I want to see if it's possible to find out, okay, how were commission, people that make commission, how were they acting in 2019 versus 2020? Did their commissions rise? Did they fall based on their work? I need to also find a lot of data from other literature that's been done on it and pull that into a review and sort of find the correlations. So it's interesting because it affects me too. I want to know, am I being more productive?
Yeah.
Or could I be more productive in the office full time?
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah. So
I personally work from home.
Mm-hmm.
So
how do you feel about it?
I feel that I'd rather sacrifice spending time with other people than my own convenience on certain points. The reason why I'm saying this is because you said you point at the convenience for waking up and just opening my laptop. Yeah, that's good. That's really good. However, I'd rather be in an outside environment, and maybe that's just me because I'm an extrovert.
Mm-hmm.
But I like to split my days up to where I work from home probably for 2 hours and then walk to Stobel just to work some more for 3 hours.
Mm-hmm.
I like to have that as far as just just for that balance. I stay at home. It just it messes with my head.
It does.
It messes with my head. I'm at home and I'm my head is in a knot. It's been happening this week, last week. My head goes into a knot and it's I just need some nature. Like,
Do you get
I
pretty
really,
like brain fogged and stuff like that?
I just get brain tight. Like, after I work, like my desk is in my room. After I work, I go into bed. I can't even watch like YouTube or the stuff that I want to watch. I have to literally take myself out of a whole setting and like, refresh into something completely that's different outside of my first environment.
Yeah,
Like it,
I feel that too. I feel that heavy.
and it just like stress is like it stresses me out a little bit. And then once I go to the gym, which is like a different like environment, of course, and I come back, then I'm refreshed. Then I can go like eat dinner, and I can like my productivity increases because I've shifted my environment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the ultimate conclusion that we can probably make from all of this, and regarding the future of like white collar jobs, like office type work, is that hybrid is just going to be the answer.
Yeah.
Having the change of environment that keeps up your morale, it keeps you motivated and focused. It doesn't clog up your brain, right? You're not stuck to one environment. It's almost like work from home feels like the new cubicle,
Yeah.
where it just like it's the same thing, same room, same walls. So I think hybrid is really going to switch it up, where you're at home for a couple days, and then the other couple days you want to go into the office, you want to go to a different environment to do your work.
That's true.
And it's going to make the work that you do feel more, I think, dynamic and much more meaningful.
That's
as
a
well.
good word. That's a good word.
Dynamic work. Maybe that'll be the project title, something like that. Dynamic work from home studies.
Hybrid is the future.
Hybrid is the future. I think so. I think it has to be that way.
Yeah, it's more options. It's more versatile because that's so true. I don't mean to cut you off because I know you're about to talk about a little bit more. But
keep talking.
I think hybrid is the wave just because of what we've been through and like, just from a creator standpoint of like entrepreneurs. You've seen a wave of entrepreneurs. Everybody having side hustles, different projects going on. Everybody's bandwidth of projects of things that they really want to do on the side while they make money is like, wide open. So like being able to have that hybrid type of work environment so that you can stretch, these other projects and scale those other projects while you have a meaningful life. I think that's necessary for like somebody that's independent, for an employee, for like, the survival needs of an employee, like we were talking about before, just like business owners understanding that and like, just allowing it. Like, yeah, let's start offering hybrid stuff. Let's like in schools, let's not make classes in person or just online. Like, no, let's make it hybrid too. Let's make it to their convenience because they have other classes. They have other, they work full-time jobs. Like, let's make it easier on them so they don't have to stress about just coming to class and paying for it already,
Yeah, I feel like we've proven that we can do both.
Yeah.
So give all of the options now.
Give all the options.
All of them.
Yeah. Stop leaving money. Stop leaving stuff on the table. Like.
Yeah, it's super fascinating. We're in sort of a perfect storm climate right now. I mean, just to like speak in economics terms, like there's a pretty big labor shortage right now, which means employers are being forced to, like CEOs and stuff, are being forced to actually pay attention and say, how can I keep my employees happy?
It's true.
There's a shortage of workers, and then there's a lot of work that needs to be done to make record profits. So how do I keep my workers happy? And so far, they're getting super bad backlash from saying, okay, everyone back in the office, put your suit back on. Let's go back in full time.
Yeah.
People are not really having that anymore. And they're calling it like the Great Resignation. I don't think it's going to be as big as what the news is saying, but no, it's definitely interesting times. And I think that I'm assuming in the conclusion of my research that hybrid is going to be the future. It's going to be that a very balanced way of living, and it's going to maintain productivity because we've shown we can be productive from home and we can be productive at work. So, it's interesting. It's exciting.
It's all exciting. It's all exciting stuff. Say if a CEO was watching this right now, what can they learn from this podcast right now? Or what you're talking about right now?
I would honestly say be real with the people you work with. What I think is really working right now and it's gaining traction, like at least from what I can tell online, is authenticity. Don't bring the cheesiness, don't bring the overly professional BS that makes you feel really disconnected with, like basically bottom shelf employees that you work with. I feel like you want to be, you should be very transparent because. Not only are your workers going to want to work for you more by you being transparent, but it's also going to let you know when they're, sort of not having it, not satisfied with, their role and stuff. And I feel like if you're a fake business leader, it really blinds you from that kind of feedback from your actual, your peers, your employees, because they're not going to, if you're fake, they're not going to tell you all of their, their problems that they have with, the structure of the company or whatever problem they have. So, I mean, I guess if I could suggest one thing, not like I'm a business owner or anything, but I feel like being transparent goes a long way, at least from like, if I can think of all my experiences and all of the different bosses that I've had, I've loved the ones that have felt like genuine people and that were really transparent with me. That's where I've had the best experience, I think.
Sure. Yeah. I think it aligns with or your personal values and organizational values, and it backfiring on you if you don't stand in between those in that midline.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's because if you are not transparent with your values and what you have envisioned for this company, I feel like when an employee steps into your organization and you tell them something and it's really something else, eventually when they work for like 6 months or a year, they'll catch up to the mission because they'll start understanding like the processes, the system structures. They start talking to the culture and they realize what it's really for, and they end up being out because you're not transparent. You're not staying true to like your own organizational values, and you end up backfiring. So that's really
it's almost like every company has a mission statement, these values that they claim and represent, but it's good to see it in action, like I think that would.
And you stand behind it.
Yeah. Like you are fully, authentically involved in that. So
that's perfect.
And I really think social media, like LinkedIn, I was showing you that guy earlier, Dan Price. Yeah. Like he's like completely no filter. If you saw some of his tweets or whatever, like completely no filter. And maybe he's a little too much for my taste, but like on the professionalism side, but he's being open, he's being real, and he's getting all these viral, like what do you call a retweet on LinkedIn? I don't even know.
Share.
Yeah, just like likes in general. Like the man's going viral on LinkedIn. Okay. And I'm like, okay, you can tell like everyone who's involved in like, I don't know, like an office setting or like the corporate world, like they're caring about authenticity. They want to skip the BS,
facts, yes, exactly.
And nobody likes that anymore.
Nobody likes that. Okay, that's cool. So authenticity, hybrid, being hybrid. What are we talking about? Authenticity. We talked about. We talked a little bit about business employee management, or like as far as just being transparent. Are there anything else as far as like the future of business work culture?
Well, I actually wanted to sort of like spin it back on you real quick. Like your personal thoughts, like what do you think, or what would you wish to change like over the next decade as far as like work environments go? Like what would you like to see? That's pretty reasonable too. Like not just a pipe dream, but what do you think could actually happen that you'd love to see?
Being really strategic on making your employees happy and aligning that with your business. Like we talked about earlier, plenty of people go through this situation where they're either underpaid because they don't know their value, and it I don't know, it often comes down to that.
Especially now too, like the labor shortage I mentioned earlier, like that's gonna have a huge effect. Everybody's hiring, so people do care about the happiness more.
Yeah,
people are like, why would I make this really low wage when I could go for something better right now, when I can actually go for somewhere that that's actually looking and wants me. So I think strategy's got to be huge. And you
got to be really strategic. I don't mean to cut you off either.
No, go ahead.
It's just like it just depends on what caters to your business, and you got to be strategic, and you have to be just direct. And like if you're doing a business for your own personal like goals, just to like to work on something else, and you want to like start putting money to something else, tell your employees that like I really do this because of this, and I'm only gonna pay you this because of this, or help them become developed out of your company, and that's gonna make them stay longer if you help them on like different stuff.
Exactly.
Give them, besides monetarily, just like giving them life lessons or just being a mentor to them and just keeping it straight up front with them. And I think that's just the long term. I'll probably say that, just like business owner thinking in the long term, not financially, but for their employees' happiness, long term employee happiness.
Yeah. Well,
or employee wellness. Well, how do you say that? Just think
well,
that.
they just want to be valued.
That's it.
They just want to feel valuable. People want to have some sort of meaning when they wake up in the morning, and I think leaders need to provide that a little bit more. That's what I would like to see. Is we want people impassioned about what they do, even if it involves boring work, because I don't think you can get around that. You're still gonna have to do like tasks that seem like chores. I think regardless, unless you're some like TikTok star.
Yeah,
that's not too much of a chore.
Yeah,
but you got to give people value. You got to give them a why. You got to give them something to wake up for.
Yeah. Keep it human.
I like that. Keep it human. That's like a good motto. That's like good advice right there.
I like that.
Keep it human.
Keep it human.
That's good. That's good.
For real.
I'm posting that.
Keep it human. I love that.
That's good. Yeah.
Who should I we're gonna go to the next question. Who should I interview next?
I interviewed quite a few people on my podcast that I think you could really enjoy.
Okay.
Andrew Romero, he's a genius. He's one of my close friends here in town. Okay. He actually just got accepted into Stanford for grad school.
Really?
So yeah, super smart guy. I talked to him on my show. We talked about the future of AI learning, or AI and machine learning.
Okay.
And how that is going to affect us more. And we talked about EV technology, so like electric vehicles, how they sort of work, like self-driving cars and things, and how those sensors work. It was really cool listening to him talk about that stuff. So definitely recommend Andrew Romero. I can send you his stuff too.
Yeah. Send me his info after this.
Yeah.
I'll for sure get this.
Yeah.
I'd love to pick his brain. I love, just picking anybody's brain about stuff that I don't have a strong, subject in, or strong sense of subject in.
That's the thing too, is I like to interview guests that I'm on topics that I'm not too familiar with, because the whole point is I'm trying to ask questions, to have a conversation, to learn from that person, right? So being from a background, well, I'm in tech consulting, but I'm not fully in it engineering style with the AI. I don't know much about that, and I just learned so much just from like a 40-minute talk.
Yeah.
So
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Gonna have him on the podcast.
Yeah, definitely worth it. It'll be worthwhile for sure.
For sure.
And relating it to your own brand and what you want to go for. Yeah. That's the thing, is like you can talk to so many different like diverse people, and you can all like run it back to your theme, what you got going on, like that's what I do for money. Like I tied AI into money a little bit, and like business and development and all that. So
they're all connected.
Yeah. Everything's connected. Everything
is connected. Everything's going to always be connected, because it always comes down to us as being human. And these subjects like personal finance, productivity, AI, they're just they're just subjects of what we like to do. Yeah. So they're always going to be connected.
Yeah. Hey, but keep it human,
Keep it human.
Keep it human.
I love that. We're going to wrap it up. I just want to say thank you everyone for listening to the Second Son podcast. It's been real. I've really had a good time talking with you,
dude. Likewise, it was a really good discussion, and I even talked about things that I didn't even think about before. So definitely a good chat, and I hope you all had a great time listening in as well.
Sure.
If anyone has any questions, like, feel free to like DM us.
Yeah, shout out the Money Magic. If you haven't listened to this, whoever's watching this, Go listen to the Money Magic podcast. He has some interesting stuff.
Yeah, you can find it on all platforms. Really, just look for the like a gray and green logo.
Okay, for sure.
Yeah, because a couple other people have podcasts named Money Magic, and sometimes they pop up ahead of mine, and I'm like, nah.
We got to get that follower base up. We got to get that up.
No, what's funny is that their follower base is lower than mine, but they're still popping up higher, and I'm like, how does that work in the algorithm?
SEO.
It's
SEO
probably
experts.
because they were they've been around longer, maybe, and that's why. But yeah, you can find me on Apple Podcasts, the Google one. I don't even know. I think it's like Google Cast.
Yeah, something.
Spotify, and we're also switching up to video format. So a lot of the high quality content will be on just my personal YouTube channel, and then subcategory Money Magic Podcast for that. So yeah, check it out. Sometimes I do just 20-minute rambles by myself, and then other times I do hour-long interviews. So it's got a little bit of everything for everyone. But yeah, you can find the Instagram at Money Magic Podcast, or you can just follow my personal if you really want to be creepy about it. You can Brady M Wade on Instagram. So
For sure.
yeah, it was great coming on. Thank you.
It was great having you for sure. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. For those of you watching, remember, I know you're watching.
Yeah.
I know.
If you've made it this far and you're not supporting the show, what are you doing?
Yeah, the views.
You gotta like and subscribe at this point.
Yeah, at least. Just so, because we want to keep this going. We want to make this popular. We want the Second Son to be the number one. We want the Money Magic to be the number one. So yeah.
Exactly.
It was good having you.
Yeah.
But now it's a wrap.
It's a wrap.
See you guys on the next episode.
And remember, keep it human.
Keep it human.
See you guys.
See ya.